house and the kids. Being the last to know. Walking back to the burning schoolhouse and the kids drinking in the bar. Late at night and the spirit moves, man, I don't mind being afraid. Old man with no clothes, leaning on my fence. Tell me where the money goes and the food don't taste the same. I'm getting fat, but being the last to know I don't need to waste no time. If that's alright now, you don't listen to me anyway.
Good afternoon. Forever before we decide to venture out of Rushville, about 8 miles west on the Camden Blacktop. Out here, there's a little church named the Bethany Bible Church.
This is the Bethany Bible Church sign, and over there is the actual church. Not many people know about this small country church, even though it is 85 years old. The origin of the Bethany Church is found in a small one-room white building that disappeared many years ago. It was known as the Union Chapel and was located near Marie Radbush's farm.
You on a tour of this church. It's located right here in Schuyler County. The Union Chapel was part of the Southern Methodist denomination, which is part of the original Methodist church founded by John Wesley in England in 1729. In 1845, the issue of slavery divided the Methodist church, separating it into Southern and Northern Methodists. Later, in 1739, it again reunited into the United Methodist as we know it today.
In 1912, there was unrest with the members of the United Chapel, and they decided they wanted to affiliate with the Northern Methodist, like other churches in the Camden and Huntsville area, thus becoming the plans to build a new church, this building that is now standing.
In 1914, Ed Daly of Camden constructed this small country church. It was the only country church, and still is, that had a belfry that rang out its invitation for many years, reminding everyone within an earshot that it was Sunday.
ground that the church stands on was donated by John W. Marlowe, who lived across the road from the church, where his grandson, Morris Morrell, still lives to this day.
Mr. Marlowe donated a large bell, and many a time through the ages, the story is told how Mr. Marlowe climbed to the top of the incomplete tower and stood on his head to celebrate the event of the mounting of the bell. He was 80 years old at the time.
In 1958, the congregation, having problems with the Methodist Conference, voted 32-2 to withdraw from the conference and repurchase the church that they had deeded over. The plan sounded simple, but proved otherwise. There was a meeting called, and they were told in order to get the church back for local ownership, they had to vacate it for 6 months and also discontinue the use of the Bethany name for that time. It was stressful, and there were several members that left the church during that time. When the time was up, they were told they would have to wait another year.
After much time and heartache, they were able to get the Methodist Conference to go ahead and sell them the church back. The membership raised $1,000, and the remaining balance of $2,000 was borrowed from a bank with 5 church members co-signing the note. 2 of the co-signers were my grandpa and my great-grandpa.
The members were allowed to move back into this building in July 1959 after vacating it for 15 months instead of the 6 that they had told in the beginning. An outhouse restroom facility was used by the church, and there were no air conditioning up until 1982, when it was decided to add classrooms and restrooms into the church.
Volunteer laborers worked hard to build the addition, with many donations coming in for the facility. We were able to move into this new addition in October 1984, when I was 3 years old.
The pews, the podium, and the piano, as well as all the furniture in the sanctuary, are from the very early 1900s, making most of them close to 100 years old. We still use the piano every Sunday. This year, a technician from WIU came down to work on a piano, and he was amazed at the age and the quality of it.
Ceilings in this church were originally cathedral. In the 1960s, a tile ceiling was used to lower the ceiling level and the heat bills. The pastor of our church today is Carl Wiggins. We have attendance about 35 every Sunday.
They keep this old Bible under the podium here. And we don't know how old it is because we can't find the copyright. You know why? Can't copyright the Bible. This is the new addition to the church. Sunday school is held in here every Sunday.
There's also an intercom system installed, so if mothers have children that cry a lot, they can come back here and still hear the sermon. Or if you just happen to be back here, you can hear the sermon still. I'm very proud of our small country church and its history. Clear back to my great-grandparents, the people of this church have always worked hard and worked together to keep the church open, while many country churches over the years have closed their doors. So, goodbye.
So anytime you want to see a little bit of history,
In Schuyler County,
We invite you
to Bethany Bible Church.
to rural Camden.
So this is Chris Ward and Brian Morrell from Mr. Walters' history class saying goodbye. Good afternoon. For our report, we decided to venture outside of Rushville and Good afternoon. For our report, we decided to venture out of Rushville about 8 miles west of the Camden Blacktop, on the Camden Blacktop. Let's do it again.
wind from the south blows strong and warm to come down.
for it.
And then the lies that were told are driven outside with the freezing cold.
Good afternoon.
Spring just like this, I was 19